And it's not you. But George looks at Clarence, his angel, and tells him, some angel you are. What do you mean? Some angel, I got all this going on. I got all these problems. Man, where you been? Where you been? But what George didn't understand, and what I'm trying to get you to see is what a wonderful, 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 beautiful life you have. But sometimes we can't see it. We're too busy looking at the rain. Amen. We can't see the good because we're always looking at the bad, not understanding this little setback that we have. This little setback that we have is God's way. It's God's way of setting you up for a comeback. Amen. The little setback is God's way of setting you up for a comeback. So when they see you, you won't look like what you've been through. Yes. When they see you, you won't look like what you've been through. Boy, look at me now. Boy, last time I saw you, I thought you was dead. I thought you was on the way out. But look at me now. Amen. God set me up for a comeback. He set me up for a comeback. Look at me now. Look at me now. You won't look like what you've been through. George never looked to God for his purpose in life. He didn't. He never looked to God for his purpose in life. He did. He was the one with, and you think our reason, he didn't know his reason for existing. He thought, and some of us think, our reason for existing is for us to do what we want to do, when we want to do it. And maybe seek what God has for us on Sunday for a couple of hours. Don't go over 2 hours. Don't be too long. Don't do that. Maybe then we wonder. Then we wonder why. Why, Lord? Why aren't things working out in my favor? Why, Lord? Why can't I have? Why can't I have what I need? How much time do you give God? How much time do you give God in prayer? How much time do you spend talking to him, seeking his face? I need you to understand this, Mount Zion, that God's plan for your life is way bigger than any plan you can have for yourself. Amen. Any plan that you have for you, God got one that's bigger. But then George speaks a very profound, you understand, profound word into his life. I wish I had never been born. I wish I had never been born. Have you ever felt that way before? I wish I had never been born. My mother said that a lot when we was growing up because we was hell on wheels. And she would say, I wish I had never been born. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't understand that. But have your problems been so heavy that you wish you hadn't been born? Talk to me this morning. Come on, Mount Zion. But what happens? George gets his request. Okay, then George Clarence tells him, you have never been born. Then George begins to see what this world would be like without George Bailey in it. He gets to see what it looked like he had never been born. Think about it. What would this world be like if you had never been born? What would this world, what effect have you had on this world? I remember one time I was at my grandson's birthday party. I'm being silly, but this is so true. I was at my grandson's birthday party. I got two sons. I got two sons, my biological sons, two of them. And I was at my grandson's birthday party. And the two mothers were sitting there talking, and the other people, they were just talking. They were just being, I ain't no Willie this or whatever. You know how it is. And I said, I don't care what y'all say about me. None of this would have happened had been for me. I caused all of this. So what would happen if I had never been born? What would happen if you had never been born? That's the question. What effect have you had on this world? What would this world be like without you in it? And he showed George Bailey what this world would be like. And it wasn't a pretty picture. He had an effect on this world that he didn't realize. He didn't realize how important he was. He didn't realize how important he was because his glass was always half empty. But just like George, you've been born for a reason. What effect have you had on this world? How have you lived your life? How many lives have been changed because of you? But if you hadn't been born. But if you hadn't been born, how many lives have been changed? Now they weren't changed. Why? Because you weren't born. All the things your presence prevented from happening because of you. Now these things haven't happened. Now because of what? You weren't born. Why? Because you haven't been born. All of the lives that were saved because of you. These people are now dead. George had saved his brother's Harry's life. And Harry went on to join the military. And Harry saved a few men, I think it's 10, 15 other men's lives. But because George hadn't been born, Harry was dead. And those men that lives he saved were dead. So you have a reason for being here. Amen. You have a reason for being so you are needed. You have a bigger effect on this world than you